Hey, how's it going? Today I want to talk about me going back to school at 43. This school with a big S. Yeah, so the why. To be honest, man, I was just tired. You know that feeling when you're kind of stuck in a loop, like on the hamster wheel, and you're just like in a box and you want to be creative, but the environment is not enabling you to do that. For me, I just feel there's a lot more to my existence and me being a creative. There was so much more I wanted to do, but then you kind of just resort to compressing all of that for the bread, you know? It's just working to eat. I remember doing a 260. I was so exhausted. You can't rest. Still have to do your post-production supervision. You're just on the go. Up at maybe 5:36. Need to be on set for 7. Sometimes you finish at 12:01. Drive in Lagos traffic. It was hectic. It was crazy. And again, I'm a grinder. But it reached a point where the creativity in me was just now dying because I was like stuck on the hamster wheel. I was doing work, but I wasn't really, you know, I wasn't living up to the capacity that I feel God had put in me. Yes, I was working in a creative environment. I was directing, doing some of the biggest shows in Nigeria, but there was so much that I know that based on who I am, I could have been doing. But it's one of those caveats, you know, I knew that there are times and seasons, and for that time I had to be doing what I'm doing. And not to say that those moments don't count. In fact, they're an integral part of, you know, my existence and growing up and learning film. Because, you know, music for me was the first love. That stuff just came easy. But still, I knew that within me there were steps I had to take, because it's like you're being ringed out and, you know, you don't have any space. I knew I needed to get out because it was killing me. Of course, the second reason is school. I knew school was gonna give me a sense of therapy. It would move me from that loop that we're talking about. And it would give me a sense of purpose in terms of putting me in a routine that was going to be a creative stimulant for me opening my mind beyond what it was back in Nigeria. Again, nothing really prepared me for going back to school when the last time I was kind of in school was like in 2004-06 in London. And it was crazy because while I had been doing music organically, producing, doing sound design in Nigeria, now I had to do the schooly things, the assignments, you know, orchestration and notation, things that I really didn't have foundation in because I wasn't a classically trained musician. I learned music by ear and from the soul. So those things were challenging for me, you know, the pressure, classes at 10 a.m., Zoom meetings, the winter. Not that I have not experienced winter before, but, you know, doing winter with school and I'm not driving, you know, buses can delay. And coming to school, the best is bus because the trains would just take me further away than I needed to be. So it was kind of a rude awakening. And the first term was really heavy because I was also dealing with, you know, just settling in a new environment, trying to get a place to stay. I was staying at my friend's house. God bless her soul. She was such a sweetheart. But then you still deal with the usual nuances of, you know, as an adult trying to adjust to living with someone or living in somebody's space. And, you know, you have to kind of respect their space. And you can't, as my mother would say, you can't just spread. You can't just spread the way you would normally spread in your own space. So dealing with all that mental stuff, trying to get a house, the rejection of not having credit, and man, and then school, the schooly stuff. Sometimes you're like immersed, and then you realize that some things you'd rather not do it because you're old, and you're like, oh, I wish I don't have to do these kind of things because it's the schooly things. But it was all part of the journey and all part of the experience, and I'm happy I did it. So one of the greatest highlights of my experience in Sheridan really is just the preparation. It's like finishing school, you know? You come in with so many bad habits and you're used to just doing things haphazardly. The course actually had a subject called Composer's Toolkit, and that basically encompassed everything in terms of how to deliver things more professionally, how to work in a stressful environment as a professional composer, and how to just be efficient in doing your work well. Another highlight, the friendships. You know, we're all coming from different societies and different cultures, and Canada is a multicultural nation. And one of the things that resonated with me is the fact that we all have different personalities. And it's okay that after school is not everybody that is going to be your closest friend. But the beauty is you get to meet different people, and while you will meet some of them outside and go, hey man, how you doing? It's not all of them you're going to hang in their house and maybe crash over. And that's okay too. From September, oh well, there goes the battery on my key light. I probably would have just been babbling anyway. So, from September, the scary journey into the unknown started, i.e. the job hunts, networks, etc., etc. Convocation was slated for October, but hold that thought. Because without the amazing faculty who successfully crammed in over 2,000 hours of solid knowledge and mentorship, there would be no said convocation. Bo, thank you for teaching us about good studio recording techniques. Your first assignment on researching various microphones and their characteristics was a great exercise and a motivation that has stuck with me ever since. Felipe, you're such a beautiful man with your full head of hair. You have so much passion for the rudiments of music and all its classic forms. All right, I must confess, I kind of had anxiety every time in your class due to my phobia for all things notation. But you helped me appreciate the importance of interpreting music in scores. Robbie, thank you for demystifying Pro Tools. It will definitely be part of my toolkit henceforth. And thank you for your introduction to the world of immersive audio via Dolby Atmos and your amazing scientific approach to understanding mixing and mastering. Oh, not forgetting the beautiful guests that had so much impact on our confidence and our passion. Allison, thank you for igniting the inner child in me. You made all the Sesame Streets and the Muppet shows I watched as a kid have so much more relevance now. Your assignments and free writes were also a great way to help us dig deeper as composers and be creative within a limited time frame or when we don't feel inspired. The show must go on. And last but not least, Charlie, it has been established, of course, that you are the man. And if you can't do it, no one can. Thanks, Charlie, for being the glue that held the whole program together. You're so passionate and genuinely caring. Thank you for all the invitation, giving us the 360 view of a composer's toolkit. See what I did there? And now, to convocation. The moment was electrifying, but somehow I found myself a bit dazed. I mean, not to insinuate a lack of appreciation for the moment. No, not at all. Far from that. But instead, I think the journey that led to this moment felt so overwhelmingly profound. All in all, this experience for me has led to more faith, resilience, and confidence. And my takeaway of the whole experience is this. As a proof of concept, locked in us is a creative power that, when unleashed, can give birth to beautiful dreams, all things being equal, sanctioned by the sovereign grace of God. Oh. the memories. Yes. Let me shut up now.